I haven't done this in such a long time. I don't even know how to make videos anymore. It's so weird to finally just hear that glitch, and it's not coming from my intro for these videos. It's actually the return of CM Punk to the WWE. What a world we live in. What's up, guys? My name's MuscleManMalcolm, and this is a very special Talk Malcolm Talk, only because I haven't been here for like 2 weeks, so you guys really haven't seen much of me. But also, when something like this happens, to not make a video about it, plain stupid. WWE Backstage is essentially like an ESPN talk show version of WWE, where they bring on superstars, they have big announcements, and essentially they're just trying to make WWE look more like a sporty type of show, because we all know that wrestling's real, right? Yeah. While they've had a few episodes, none of them have actually been like a real series so far, with their launch of the show actually being last week, where they teased a huge guest and something really special, and all it really was just Bray Wyatt showing off the new side plays on his Universal title. John Cena phoned in, and Randy Orton said he signed a new deal for 5 years. Stuff that's pretty cool, but not really something really gonna stay up past 10 o'clock to watch. But recently it was shown on Backstage that they actually have a new host, not a host that's gonna be there every week, but periodically, one Phillip Brooks, aka former WWE champion, aka former best in the world, because Shane McMahon, obviously, it's a new one now. And I can't believe I'm really saying this sentence is crazy. CM Punk has returned to the WWE. Now, of course, I know this is not the actual WWE. This show is ran by Fox. It's their show. It just happens to have a WWE logo on top of it. Essentially like how WWE has 2K. This is not really them that's making a video game. It's 2K. They just work together. But at the end of the show, Renee said there's a really big guest coming out, and then you have the likes of Samoa Joe, Booker T, Paige, Christian, Adam Cole, and herself out there, and the static hit. The best face to look at that wasn't Paige, who was freaking out the hardest, but probably what Samoa Joe was like, whoa. Actually, I'm just gonna play it and we're all gonna react to it at the same time.
Here's the thing. And 3, 2, 1. Is this a rap?
It's Adam Cole with a little air guitar.
Wow.
I've watched this 10 times and I'm still freaking out.
It's as simple as this. Just when they think they got the answers, I change the culture. I'll see you here next week.
Oh my God. Watching that might have been the craziest thing that's happened so far in WWE this year. I mean, yes, we've had a lot of big things. Women's main event, Kobe World Champion, a lot of stuff, Tyson Fury, but CM Punk returning. This has been a story in the making. What makes it so special is that like CM Punk's leaving WWE and coming back has been like the craziest ride I've ever seen. The most movie-centric story I've ever seen in my entire life was being played out in reality. CM Punk got tired of being in WWE because of the way they were treating him. He was injured and essentially just a bad working environment. His last match was a 2014 Royal Rumble, and after he got thrown out, he decided to walk out the company as a whole. He was on the Art of Wrestling podcast with Cole Cabana, where they essentially threw all the dirt, all the shade, and wanted all the smoke from the WWE lawyers. And oh man, didn't they respond back with a docket that they essentially demoralized and essentially canceled, had the backing of the WWE, and they decided to sue CM Punk and Cole Cabana for pretty much everything that they are worth, with a defamation case that went years. And yes, CM Punk does have a lot of money because he spent a lot of time in WWE and all the stuff he's done after. When you're up against WWE's lawyers, if one, you're in a bigger court, and we got those bigger pockets, lawyers are gonna cost a lot more. It will drain you. Also with WWE sending his termination papers on his wedding day. Coincidence, right? No, of course not. We didn't hear too much about CM Punk after that until he decided to show up for the UFC, where he announced that he was actually gonna fight in the octagon. I mean, he went from the world of stage combat to professional fighting at plus 35 years old. Never heard that story ever working out. Where he did have 2 fights and they went,
At 2 minutes, 14 seconds of the very first round, Mickey!
He was there, he was present. Eventually Punk started doing commentary for other MMA promotions, on top of writing comic books, hosting Netflix series, and even starring in a movie where he had to go onto a podcast and talk about how his wife responded to him having a sex scene.
To get all the shots we needed and to do it, that's the way it had to be done. Like, my neck is killing me, my lower back's killing me because it's an air mattress. I can't take a full breath because there's an 80-pound camera on my chest. It's not sexy at all. At all.
And oh yeah, we can't forget the fact that he actually returned to independent wrestling, where he returned at a local promotion. That was in the venue where he first started wrestling, where his trainer at the time, Ace Steel, did have a match, where he hopped in the ring with a mask on and hit a GTS on one of the performers. But but no one knew that was actually CM Punk in the venue, because if they did know that was him, even with the go to sleep, at this point we knew that CM Punk was gonna return to wrestling, because at that point he had never been involved in pro wrestling outside maybe showing up to like a convention here and there to sign some autographs. I've been to one of them. Really nice guy. He liked the fact that I came from DC and I had a headband with a Chicago flag on it. But at this point, the only time CM Punk's name was being mentioned was with 3 letters, and not WWE, but AEW. AEW first came onto the scenes at the start of this year, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, they need CM Punk. That will beat out WWE. We can see WWE shut down because they have CM Punk, brother. CM Punk claimed that AEW only sent him an offer through text message, and it wasn't really an actual offer. It was more of an opportunity. But he would constantly make these appearances at events right before AEW Double or Nothing, or AEW All Out. That had a lot of people speculating this is the moment. They're back in Chicago. Big Q&A at StarCast, a convention that's essentially ran with AEW. They're not like actually ran by the same person, but they are separate. It's like 2K and WWE. They work separate but work close together. Where the rumors were spreading so fast that this man had to be at All Out, right? Where Mike Johnson was the host of that Q&A, he also basically said like he's not coming to AEW. Punk doesn't want to do it. He's happy where he is. He doesn't want to wrestle, which is fine. If the man wants to be happy and his happiness doesn't involve him with wrestling, it's fine. But we're also talking about CM Punk, one of the greatest talkers in professional wrestling of all time, and one of the greatest workers on the mic and in the ring. We've been worked. Rumors at that time about WWE having a backstage show, or well, it's called Backstage. So they had the show where CM Punk had an audition to be one of the hosts of the show, and he said it went well, but he just didn't hear anything back from them. Yeah, that's a work. Possibly. We'll talk about it. With the debut WWE Backstage, I mean, their first show that was an official, like, launch of the entire series did absolutely horrible. It had 49,000 views overall. There's videos on this channel that have more than 49,000 views. I did better than the WWE almost produced show by Fox. I need a backstage show. Can I be a host next too? From the start of this video when I said Renee said there was going to be a huge guest on the first debut, a lot of people thought CM Punk. It actually wasn't supposed to be him. It was supposed to be Brock Lesnar. The same angle that was run on SmackDown of him saying like, I'm actually going to quit and go to Raw so I can fight Rey Mysterio, that was supposed to be on Backstage. But because of the Saudi incident and everyone except for the top 20 and Brock and Hogan probably too, all being stuck in Saudi Arabia, they had to move that to SmackDown. Was it Fox that demanded that CM Punk should be on the show because the ratings were so bad? Or was this just a work the entire time? That is a question we will never know. But regardless of how you look at it, who cares? He's still here. But this goes to the overall question, will CM Punk make a return to WWE? Not to the Fox show, not to something that's not even ran by WWE, but to WWE in an arena, in a ring. Will it happen? Yes. Definitely. Vince McMahon's track record just screams he's gonna return to the ring sometime next year. When? Who knows? He's gonna return. History has a tendency to repeat itself, and everyone that's been outed by WWE before has made a return at some point. Bret Hart said he would never come back to WWE. He was put into the Hall of Fame and had a WrestleMania match, even won the United States Championship. Ultimate Warrior made himself be on the blacklist of WWE. He even had a self-destruction DVD about the guy, and he was put into the Hall of Fame. He was made an ambassador. Unfortunately, he did pass away, but who ever thought that was gonna happen? Goldberg was hated by everyone backstage. But other than Brock or Undertaker, he's been one of the main attractions of WWE whenever they need a special legend to come back. And he's been Universal Champion. Sting, who vowed to never wrestle for the WWE, he wanted to be in WCW and TNA, that was his career. WWE Hall of Famer. Wrestled Triple H at WrestleMania. Unfortunately, he didn't win the title. Unfortunately, it did lead to his retirement, but he had a WWE Championship match, and he's wrestled on Raw. And I mean, there's so many other examples. I mean, Bruno Sammartino, Del Rio had a return at one point. Yeah, he's probably not gonna go back again, but he did come back too. CM Punk is already somewhat affiliated with the WWE right now. There is money on the table for him to return, most likely, if the story adds up correctly. Do you think Vince McMahon's gonna hold a personal grudge over a check? I don't think so. Will it be for WrestleMania? Will it be for SummerSlam? Will it be for Survivor Series? I don't know, but he is going to wrestle in 2020. That's a fact. You don't have to believe me, but Vince's track record says otherwise. For most wrestling fans, CM Punk made them love wrestling once more. I wouldn't know about independent wrestling or anything outside the WWE if it wasn't for CM Punk and Daniel Bryan too, but mainly CM Punk. For most people, this man saved professional wrestling with that pipe bomb promo. CM Punk defined a new wave of professional wrestling where you don't need to be 6'5" and 260 pounds of raw muscle, where you don't have to look like freaking 5 Fabio to be on the cover of a magazine. You can be yourself. That means how you talk, how you dress, how you walk, how you speak, and people will accept you for it and they will love you for it as well. If it weren't for CM Punk, I highly doubt we would see people like Kevin Owens or Adam Cole even getting opportunity to be in the WWE, nevertheless being world champions or NXT champion. CM Punk made it cool for a lot of people to like wrestling again and be open about it, because there's so many people that are afraid to say like, yeah, I watch WWE. I even look down as I said that, because there's so many fans that are literally ashamed of the fact that they watch WWE that they just feel so uncomfortable. They kind of have to look down. It's like, yeah, I spend my Mondays watching Raw and my Fridays watching SmackDown, even Wednesdays watching NXT. Because of people like CM Punk with that kind of charisma, it's actually cool again. But with this monumental occasion, there's already people calling him a sellout. Hasn't even been a day. Captain Mayhem says, at CM Punk, I liked you more when you refused to be a sellout. Blah, 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 other bullcrap. Straight out of that Mafia said, at CM Punk is a complete sellout. Hashtag WWE Backstage. And at CM Punk sellout, cash emojis. Someone responded to Seth Rollins saying, fight me at CM Punk with CM Punk equals sellout. All you guys, I don't get it, because you guys are probably the same people that really want to see him go to AEW. What's so bad about him returning to a show not even ran by WWE, but in general that even is WWE affiliated? What's wrong with CM Punk coming back to WWE? It's the mentality of these kind of wrestling fans that I really don't understand. Like, they're so diehard and so just driven on wanting to see WWE fail. They have a bad SmackDown because they moved to FS1. Oh, worst ratings in history. WWE's going out of business. Blah, blah, blah. They have a couple Saudi shows you don't really like. Oh, they need to go out of business. I don't get it. You guys really want to see WWE do so poorly, and you're going to call superstars for going back to WWE. Why do you guys want to see WWE fail so bad? Because if this company fails, this sport fails. No one's going to care about progress. No one's going to care about, I don't know, AAA or Lucha Underground, or is that even a thing anymore? I don't know. No one's going to care about AEW. No one's going to care about New Japan if WWE fails. Because if WWE fails, that's like saying the NBA fails. I'm not going to watch any other leagues. I don't care. If the top one doesn't exist, that means the rest are going to trickle, they're going to follow the trend, and they're going to go out of business too, because no one's going to care. Because at the end of the day, you're one of those type of people that's going to get stereotyped with being the typical wrestling fan that everyone around the world thinks that we are. Lazy, dumb, and fat. CM Punk's return to WWE Backstage doesn't just do a lot for WWE, it does a lot for professional wrestling. Because everyone that left watching wrestling because of that man leaving is now going to come back. But if WWE isn't constantly changing for the better or worse, no one's going to watch these other wrestling promotions that you care so much about. If you think CM Punk's a sellout for coming back to WWE on a show that, again, is not even produced by them, do all of us a favor and just start watching another sport. Watch hockey or something. Because I'm trying to have people look at wrestling fans and think something different than just being fat, dumb, and lazy. So with the help of your departure, it doesn't just change the face of wrestling, it doesn't just change the face of wrestling fans, but it also helps the culture. Subsqueeb. He's back in WWE. Whoa!
We going up like 1,000. I'ma flex just like a MuscleManMalcolm. We going up like 1,000. I'ma flex just like a MuscleManMalcolm. When it just like 1, 2, 3. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze.